I get a lot of questions asking me what alternative treatments I have done, and so I'm making this video to just kind of give you the once over of the alternative treatments I've done for my cancer diagnosis since the beginning. So to clarify, I was diagnosed with stage 4, high grade, moderate to poorly differentiated adenocarcinoma of the appendix with signet ring features. I was never a candidate for HIPEC because of the extent of the disease on my abdominal organs, namely my small intestines, as well as bladder, diaphragm, some on the liver, large intestine, peritoneal lining. Basically, the spread was far too extensive to do a successful HIPEC or debulking surgery that had to go with HIPEC. So since I wasn't a candidate for that, I did qualify for the PIPAC clinical trial through the City of Hope Cancer Center in LA. The funny thing about doing that PIPAC clinical trial is the laparoscopic surgery before that was the determining factor as to whether I was going to be a candidate for HIPEC or not. During that exploratory surgery, they took a biopsy, and that biopsy came back negative. Now, my doctor said it appears that there's cancer, very extensive spread in the abdomen. And so just taking one biopsy isn't necessarily conclusive. I think you should still go forward with PIPAC. So I qualified for PIPAC, in order to do the study, they have to take biopsies from each quadrant as part of looking at everything they want to look at, since it is a clinical trial. So I had my first PIPAC treatment. I had all those biopsies done before the treatment, and all 4 of those biopsies came back negative as well. And I was kind of like, okay, well, my biopsies keep coming back negative. My cancer markers are in the normal range. My scans are like relatively clear, like there's no major growth masses happening. So give me evidence that I have cancer. And the doctor of the clinical trial said, I agree. I know that seems like he's like, I agree with you. He says, let's go in and look and see how it looks in a few weeks after this has settled down, and we're going to do the second round. Let's go through with the second round. And he said, I'll take biopsies from all over the abdomen, like twice as many biopsies as we even need to take. I'll take them from all the risky areas just so we can be sure with no doubt that there's no cancer in there, because even if one place comes back positive, we know there's at least one naughty cancer cell in there. So he took a whole bunch of biopsies, I don't know, like maybe 8 to 12 or something biopsies, like twice as many, and all of those biopsies came back negative as well. So when people say, what do you think it was? Do you think it was PIPAC? It's hard for me to say that because my biopsies were coming back negative before. And they're like, was it the Chinese medicine protocol? Was it SEACT? Was it RSO oil? Is it your lifestyle? Did you just get lucky? How would I know? I don't know. Was it the combination of all of those things? I can't possibly know what it was. All I can do is tell you what I did. So I'm going to make this video the rest of this video just explaining what I did from the beginning. So from the beginning, from diagnosis, I really threw the kitchen sink at it. I went vegan for a little while. I stopped eating sugar. I Tried fasting before my first chemotherapy appointment, which did not go well. Never did that again. Fasting doesn't sit well with my body personally. And I did SEAC-T, I did the COC protocol, I did RSO oil, which is full spectrum cannabinoid oil. I did hot sauna detoxing after each chemo treatment in the beginning for the most part. I did coffee enemas a couple days after the end of each chemo treatment. I did hyperbaric chamber. I went to an oncology specific naturopathic doctor who prescribed some herbs for me in the beginning. I did high dose vitamin C injections twice a week. And that was the bulk of what I did about the first year or so. And then I found a natural medicine practitioner rooted in Chinese, his practice is rooted in Chinese medicine. He has cured his own cancer as a young man from a young age. He's in his 60s now, married with 2 kids, and is the head of the Chinese medicine and acupuncture program at NUNM, the big naturopathic school up in Portland, Oregon. His name is Dr. Heiner Fruhoff, and the machine he uses is a bioresonance machine. He calls it an electroacupuncture machine, and he uses his knowledge in Chinese medicine, ancient Chinese medicine, to test each individual medicine and each individual food, different food groups, with my biology to see what my body's asking for and what is coming up as inflammatory. So what's medicinal and what's inflammatory. So since I've been seeing him 2 years ago, I started in 2022 or 2023 is when I started seeing him. Since then, that is what I've been on, and that's what I continue to be on to this day. He prescribes herbs and combination of herbal concoctions and granules that I dissolve in water twice a day and drink as a tea that are matched with my individual biology. The reason, and then he also prescribes food-based supplements that are supportive of my biology. One of the reasons that I really resonate with this medicine is, one, someone who has the exact same pathology as me, maybe even the same age, the same, like all of the same exact diagnosis in every way. If they go in to see him, they're going to get a different protocol than what I'm on. Sure, some of it might be similar, but they're not going to get the exact same protocol. No one is, because every single person has a different biological makeup. The question that holistic medicine answers, which Western medicine does not answer, is why is my body an environment where cancer can thrive? And how do I change the ecosystem of my body to be one in which cancer cannot live? And that's what non-Western holistic Chinese medicine answers. That's a question that it addresses. So he was able to support me going through chemo treatments, giving me medicines to help chemo do its thing and help support the Western medicine treatment I was doing, as well as give me medicines to support the underlying root cause of why do I have an ecosystem in my body where cancer can thrive. I didn't feel comfortable just being done with treatment and then going back to how I was living before. Even though I was quite healthy before, it was like whatever I was doing was creating an environment where cancer grew into a stage 4 metastatic cancer. And so I'm really still working on revamping my whole system. And he says that cancer treatment in his eyes takes 5 years. He asks for 5 years of kind of more heavy duty treatment, which to me makes sense. And heavy duty meaning like just more medicines. All of the medicines he gives me make me feel good and vital and healthy in my body. So when I say treatment from that's what I'm meaning with that. So that's what I continue to be on. I fly out to see him every 4 to 5 months and get re-upped on my medicines, and he retests me. I eat foods that are medicinal for my body. I eat mostly whole, single ingredient foods that don't need an ingredient label. And as I've gotten better and more well, and as I've gotten further away from the Western medicine, chemo, surgery, all of that, my body is a lot less inflamed. And so a lot less foods come up as inflammatory for me. And he says he can see that reflected in my medicines as well, that the supplements my body is asking for aren't the big, heavy duty, hard hitters. So that's the protocol I'm on now, and always happy to chat. So feel free to reach out.